no, I have started recording, so we are live because this video.
Okay.
Wait, okay, let me turn on the other one. My two-factor authentication. Eh? Let's be serious, please. Okay, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody that is at home and all the superstar making members that are here. It's another live session. Why am I even doing all of this? Should I share my screen? I also learned how to share my screen. Like, I went out for you guys, like, proper, so that there will be no excuses. But yeah, I think first thing I'll do is I'll just go back to the. How do I get to this thing again? Have I started sharing? No, I've not. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
I told you, I am like we are. See, we're not joking here. So yeah, I mean,
Wow.
refresh on the video. This babe who I don't know made her bag, which yeah. And simple, just like that. Chakram bag. Anyway, what she's doing here is I don't know. At the start, you can see that she she actually this is a different CAD software that she used. It's called Shaper 3D, but you have to pay money for it, and I'm not doing. I don't believe in that. But she went into CAD, did a bag, and she 3D. It's a 3D printed bag, but the type of 3D printing used here is resin 3D printing. Like so, you can 3D print in resin, and actually a lot of other stuff. It's a bit more expensive. Maybe one day we'll buy it, but it's like yeah, it's really cool. It has much nicer finishes. It really looks cool. But yeah, she resin printed it, mixed the resin together inside the station. When you 3D print, when you resin 3D print, you have to cure it, like spray a lot of alcohol and all of that stuff because resin is bad. All these lines that you can see here are called supports. Anyway, like when I mentioned, when you have like, I'm very afraid of this word. When you have an overhang, an overhang, yes. When you have an overhang, sometimes, yeah, you can get away with it, but if you have support, and these are like useless bits of you, well, not useless, but they're much fragile, but they just allow like the print or whatever to rest on it, so your actual shape comes through, and you can break it off. And she puts it in the alcohol or spirits and cures it in UV light. It's a bag, and it's not just something that stays in your computer, so it has to come out and be real. So you need a way to close and open it, and also a way to keep it shut permanently. So she has designed these like a hinge, basically, that you can attach the bag to the two sides of the bag to. I don't know if you can see, like, this has a hole, and then she also added these small circles here where she puts magnets in them. She's applying super glue, and then she'll put magnets inside so she can shut it. The bag also has this bits for like a handle, right? Yeah, hook to attach the chain. But that's the basic requirements. The bag needs to open and close. The bag needs space for you to store something inside it. The bag also needs to be shut permanently, and it needs a hook that you can, attach on. And these are the things that you think about when you want to make something. What does this thing do? If it needs to do something, what do I, what does it need? And then you go ahead and design that into it. So simple, just like that. In 10 seconds, you've done everything or not. But to start, I'll show you the first. this is what we're going to do today. We'll try to go as far as possible because this thing is split into maybe two or three parts. And so that I don't overwhelm you and we don't have like, don't worry, Nimi, relax. Please don't kill me. Don't you
Please,
say,
that was my literal reaction when you opened it. I was like, ah, what was happening here? But okay.
yeah, but don't worry, don't. It's not going to be insanely difficult. I'll show you my progress up until we on up until I got here, but they're going to be obviously it's two parts of a bag. It closes, um, and we're going to do one half of it. And from what you can see here, we have the obvious star, we have the shape, we have the grooves for the magnets, which by the way, you can buy these magnets for 110 naira, I think. Yeah, 110 naira each at this store. They sell them. So like, yeah. So they're called neodymium magnets. I never know how to spell it. Yes, 100 naira. And they do same day delivery too. They're really very, very efficient all over Nigeria. I think Lagos and Ibadan and Abuja they do same day, but it depends. They might it might take like outside of those regions maybe like 3 days, but they they're also not paying me to do this advert. I just this is not an advert, but sure they sell stuff, a bunch of things, components, so 3D printer, filament, all of that stuff if you ever want to. But yeah, because you're going to if you these people falling my hand. Anyway, because you're going to actually make this thing, you it will be helpful if you do finish this. This will be helpful for you buying some parts, or we'll send them to you unless you want to do the thing yourself, so you feel like you're in complete control. But yeah, uh, are we ready to are we ready to start?
Yes, boss.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so as usual, when you want to start a new project, or sorry, create your project from your page. By default, you have a part studio, but I'm going to create a different part studio. I will rename it to Starbag. I don't know, in honor of our star, whatever. So, um, one of the one of the things that I want to talk about. So obviously, from past things, hey, things, past videos or sessions, we've mentioned that you start with a sketch and you select a sketch plane, and then all this menu of different tools comes alive, and you've used I think line, rectangle, shape, circle. You guys have used that, but there's a bunch, even text, but there's a bunch of other ones that we haven't even touched, and they are very, very useful. But before that, one of the things I do want to mention is that will come up a lot is a thing called constraints. And constraints are basically you're defining how this thing should behave, but in terms of like its position or distance or size, whatever. It's like think about it as you have a think about it as you have a very, very your very, very troublesome nephew comes to visit you, and you tell him, sit on this bed, don't get close to this drawer, or don't get close to this thing. You want to tell him don't move more than 5 centimeters of 10 meters from this thing. You set it like that, you set it as a rule, and because you set it as a rule, your nephew does not do that. But if you don't tell your nephew not to move or whatever, he can actually decide not to move, but he can also move. Anything can happen. And so that's like the kind of thing that happens here. I don't know if that has made any sense, by the way, but I don't know if that has made any sense, but I'll give a
Yeah,
quick
yeah, yeah.
example of like, what constraints are. So if you have a circle, which by the way, when I don't know if you ever notice when you draw, the sketch is in blue, but after a while, some of the sketches or lines or whatever they go black. When it becomes black, it means that it has been fully constrained and it has satisfied all the conditions in such a way that it will not. Sorry, you guys, just give me 1 second. It has satisfied all the constraints and it's not going to move away from there, right? So this panel here has like all the constraints, and we will be using them a lot. They, well, not all of them, but there are some that are more common than others. You say like this, you want to constrain it that a line will be horizontal. Say sometimes when you draw a line like this, I don't know, Onshape helps you to keep it in place and it won't move. But if you have, sorry, let me go back on that. Say if you have a line, you draw a line and you leave it like this, you can move it around and it's going to move around on its own. But if you set a constraint and say, hey, I need this thing to always be horizontal, it's going to remain like that. And it doesn't matter how you move it, it will not change at all. Another constraint is dimensions. You're trying to tell it this shape must not be more than 50, must not have a diameter of more than 50 mm. That's what you want to size it at. It's not going to grow bigger than that, but it will move, but it will not grow, bigger than that. And you also have things like a coincidence where, say, you want to fix one point to another point. I know it probably doesn't make that much sense now, but it will stay with me. Say you want to fix your circle to the origin. If you click on the points, like the center of the circle or the point that you want to fit, and the origin, it's going to move. And you can see like it's stuck there. It's not going to go like anywhere else. It's also your circle has also been fully constrained. Constrained. Yes, that's the word. Guys, sorry, I don't know English. Uh, say for this now, if we move this line, it increases in length, but it's also not going to become vertical or it remains horizontal. If we make it say 80, we're good, and it's not going to move beyond that, but it will remain at that shape. We can also say, if I recreate this line, I'll just copy and paste it here. If I say I want this, I want like a coincidence, to, I want this end to be at the edge of this circle. It's going to be there and it would stay there around the circle. But like, this is useless. You might not really have to, but who knows? Maybe you want it to, you know, be like that. You also have like you also have a tangent, which if you select the line you want to constrain to a tangent and the circle, it sounds like a lot, but don't worry. In practice, you see it comes like this, and that means that this will always be at the time. It doesn't matter how you do it; it will always just remain like this. It won't move beyond that. You can also constrain things to have like a particular distance from each other. Um, I can say I want this circle and this circle. I want their two centers to always be 60 mm from each other. It will never go beyond 60 mm. At that, you can't move it. And we can say that you want it to be aligned at the center. Sometimes Onshape will help you and give you like this orange marking, this yellow mark to help you. And if you do that, it will just remain there. Also, this circle does not have its own dimension, so let me say if I give it 50, it will be 50, and then you have it like a fully constrained sketch. Uh, what else? You also have the equal. So if you have, so we know this is 50, and we want this circle to also be 50. You can just make it equal. Click on that equal constraints. Click on the circle you want, click on the other one you want, and they will become the same size. That way you don't have to change the dimensions of multiple things. If I make this 100, that other circle changes as well. Brief introduction, well, not so brief introduction, but yeah, that I've yapped about it, but let's get into the actual, meat of the matter. So I'll clear all those. Uh, the first thing we want to do is to draw a star, and I tried different ways, but this is the easiest I have found. If you go to like the shapes, you will see a circumscribed polygon. You can just click that and go to your center here. Make sure the origin is highlighted. Click on that and draw your polygon. Um, when you when you left click, you see this place showing you different sides. So you can drag it this way to increase the number of sides of polygons. If you want a hexagon, but we want a pentagon, we want a five-sided polygon. So drag it to 5 and click it that way. You can also edit it after the fact. You can make changes here, but we want 5. So yeah. To make things easier, I would prefer if one of these sides was horizontal, right? Not this area. So we can go to the constraints, click on that, the horizontal one, and click on the line we want to make horizontal, and it's going to be constrained there. And there we have it. The only other thing we've not constrained is the size. I'd say we should give this external circle a diameter of 250. It's a big sketch, but you can always zoom out. Now to draw the star, you go to your line tool. You can just draw lines, 2 from each vertex to touch the other ones. And take another one here, another one here. Which other one does not have yet? Okay, yes, and the final one this way. Okay, and so very Illuminati coded, but this is a very good start to a star. One other very, very, very nice and very neat tool that you can use in your sketch is the trim tool, and it's this scissors here, the trim tool. Very helpful. If you take the trim tool, select it, and click on a line, it will trim it off. You can trim that, trim here, trim here, trim here, and you're done. You're done. What you have is a star, basically, at its easiest. Uh, Another thing I might have forgotten to mention, you can see there's a difference between this circle, like the lines here, they are broken, and like a thick line. These broken lines are called construction lines. They just help you to shape things out, and they don't really affect the sketch. Like the space between this line and this line, I can't select it because it doesn't recognize it as a sketch. But here, this pocket, I can convert to a sketch. So if you want to convert something to a construction line, you can come here, click on this construction, and it will break the line for you. Yeah. But another thing, yeah, and you can see that it doesn't make it a sketch region. Another thing, if you want to change it back, you can do the same thing. But an easier way is to just press Q on the line. Just press Q and you're back. So we can select. I don't want these sides of the polygon of the pentagon to be a part of the main sketch. So I'm just going to make them construction lines. So they just help to define the shape. And so we have a star. The next thing that we're going to do, let's look at what she made. We will watch this video die. The star has curved edges or vertices, and I don't know if you remember from the key holder, but like one way to make things have like a curved edge is to use the fillet tool, and they usually do it after you've extruded something. But you can also do the same thing in a sketch. If you go here, there's a tool called the fillet, like a sketch fillet tool. If you select that tool, select two sides of the angle you want to fillet, it would appear a radius or a dial would appear asking you to input the radius for it, and you can select that. I would say we should go for a radius of 18, and yeah, I think that's fine. uh you can do the same for all the other edges. Select two sides, select two sides. Okay, and there we have it. Does anyone want to guess what the next thing we do after this is? Once we have it, this shape.
Extrude.
Exactly. I see you guys are there. Nimi, are you here? Are you still saying because, or if like has anything that I have done
I
look like
mean,
magic?
it's coming together. I've had to close Onshape on my end, Sha, so I can like get it.
No, no,
It's coming
fair
together.
enough, fair enough. But yeah, I'm also explaining this way so that when you do come back, you can watch and follow again at your own pace. But yeah, the next thing we do is extrude because we already have the basic shape that we want. And when we extrude, I would say we should extrude to about 35. Yeah. And yeah, yeah, here we have our shape. Let's see, how does that compare to this guy? I mean, to be fair, at some points this was it. Uh, okay. Now that we have this basic shape, what do you think we should do next? If we look at this bag, what's the difference? I don't worry. We the bag has some curves, and the next thing to do would be to like fillet like the edge. So I would.
Wait. Sorry. Can you go back to the bag? Because I'm confused by what you just said.
So this is the bag, right? You can see
Mm-hmm.
like the edges are like it has this smooth transition from like here, like
Oh,
that,
okay. I get what you mean
while
now.
here it's flat.
Just
So
sharp.
you need,
Yeah.
yeah, so you need to round those edges, and to do that you use the fillet tool. um if on your fillet tool there are a bunch of settings here, but for this one, if if in your own it's different, it could be distance, conic, curvature, whatever, but make sure it's selected to make sure you selected curvature. I personally don't exactly know what every single one would do, and I cannot explain, but I like to experiment. So I'll just like change and see what looks like what I'm trying to achieve. This works just well. So you select the measurement is the radius, select radius, curvature, make sure those are your settings, magnitude zero point 0.5, and then 12. And so what you do is you select the edges that you have, and there we have that. What do you guys
I have
think?
a question.
Yeah,
Sorry, before you go ahead.
no, go on.
So, we rounded the sharp edges of the star
Skip.
before extruding. Why
Yeah.
couldn't we do that for those sides before extruding?
I just wanted to show you because you can do it as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do it as well. Um, but yeah, let me see. It's the exact same setting. 0.4. Okay. I'm just gonna change this to point 0.4 then. Okay. Yeah, so this you have this shape. What else? Okay, there's a bit in there also. Okay, let's go back to the back. Within the angles between the stars are also um okay, no, I think that's the question you were asking me, right? Like why didn't we do for these
Yeah,
edges
yeah,
within,
that's what I was
okay, yeah,
asking.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, to fillet those we just go and select the edges. Is there one more? Yes, there is. That's at 12. Obviously you can go as far as you want, but that's again up to you. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe I change it to 15. And there we have, you know, we have the basic shape of the star. We can actually end this here and we can go home. But do we want to go home? Do we? Nah, there's more that we can do. Okay. The next thing that we want to do is obviously the bag has its opening chat. Again, you watch this video, guy. But yeah, I missed it. I wanted to post it there. Yeah, we need to create this, you know, groove inside the bag. So obviously that means that we need to, you know, extrude, but the remove basically, yeah, we need to remove something around here, but it traces, and that it has to trace this star, the one that you know you have already. And does that mean that to do that, yeah, since we're going to be working on the surface, we're going to start another sketch. But to do that, does that mean that we have to draw another style again and go the whole process and remove? No, because there is a very, very helpful tool called the offset tool in the sketch tab that you can use. And what that does is it creates an offset line of your choosing in whatever direction you want. And let me just show how it works. So you've created your sketch and you selected the offset tool. The edges of, you know, it could either be a sketch or like a line on your shape. When you select it, it creates an offset. And here this offset is 5 mm. It can also go outwards, but what we want is inwards at 5 mm. And yeah.
I'm sorry. What would it look like in real life if you was to go outward? Would that work?
Uh, if you go outside, whatever you select, you can use it to add something else. I mean, I can show you what will happen if you know drag it outside. If you know you want to see, it means that whatever you're selecting, uh, if you drag it outwards, if you want, sometimes you might want an offset to be outwards, depending on you know your application. Say you have a rectangle and what you want to make is, you know, say you want to make a small trinket rectangular box. Your first rectangle that you did is actually the part that is inside. If you draw um if you use the offset tool to, you know, go around it, you can actually use it to design the wall of your box, of your trinket box, if you get what I'm saying. I don't know if that makes any
Okay,
sense.
so this other part would then be inside
Yeah.
the. Okay.
Yeah, this will be inside it. But I mean, you could come up with some interesting. I wouldn't say that you should do it. You should try it, like actually, you know, drag it outside. Here, because we already have all these curves here. If we add anything to it, it will look a bit awkward. yeah, it will look a bit awkward, but yeah, you can do it. But for now, what the groove we want, the actual backspace is inside, and so that's where we need the offset to be inside. So offset tool is cool, but it has one caveat. You everything that you're selecting has to be in order. You have to select it in order. So you're here, you have to select the next line and select the next one. If you skip, it's not going to work. And so you can deselect that and go back. If you select here and select another one here, even if you complete it, it's not going to work. It has to follow, like it has to go, um, it has to go in order, basically in the order that you started. So you go round, select each one. Also be sure that you haven't missed anything. Yeah, and you can select OK, confirm that, and you're good. And what you have is a very, very, clean trace of your sketch, and you can then select what is inside and then extrude and remove if you want to. But to satisfy Jennifer's curiosity, I'm going to show what it would look like if it was outside. If it was outside, you have this extra bit. You can decide to select that. If I extrude, I could extrude it like this way or the other way. Probably helpful if you were making a mold or something, but this is what it will look like eventually. Not bad. But yeah, but that's not what we want. So uh, I'm just going to wait. Have I? Okay, yeah. So I'm going to change it back to the inside one. The reason why I put minus inside is the change in direction can either be positive or negative, and so if you want to just flip the direction that you've put something, you can put minus in front of it and it would change to the opposite direction. Yeah, so we have this and then we extrude, but to remove this time, I think up to since we have 30, up to 30, 35, since our extrude was 35, I think up to 30 works just fine. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this far, Mimi, are you still intimidated?
No, actually, is making sense now.
All right, Jennifer, how about you? Does this make sense?
Yeah, it does. Honestly, when I first saw that video, I was just like, okay, but this genuinely simplifies the entire thing.
Okay, great. So which means that we will be getting you people will be making your bag. That's okay, good. The thing about this is again you're the one that is making it, so think about all the things you can customize, you know, everywhere. But hey, and to the person listening at home too, same same goes to you. Yeah. So let's see what's the progress like compared to this. What else do we have to do? Um, yeah. Since we're here, we already have like the space inside. Um, we have nope. Wait. Yeah, this is as far as we've gone. Okay, so let's go back to our bag. So she has the small little grooves where you can put the magnets in, right? But also I don't know if you can see it's not it doesn't look like it's the exact same distance. Like here to here does not look like here to here, right? Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because she added a little bit more space just so that for there's enough space for this groove for the magnet to sit, because if you bring this here, it's not going to, if you use the same thing there, it's not going to sit. So we're going to do that. And to do that, we're going to learn a nice little trick. But to continue, on top of this surface that we've just made, you can create a new sketch. Create a new sketch, plane, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle, sort of, because I don't know if you noticed, but like this is a curve, so it's a part of it, circle. And if we press our C and we get a circle. This is a helpful trick if you want to give something a bit of a, like, there are different ways to give, like, you don't always have to use a fillet. Sometimes it's better to do like your curved edges on your sketch before you get to before you extrude and start putting fillets, because fillets make things a bit awkward. A lot of times I prefer to do it as, if I have to use a fillet, I make it the last thing, more like a design thing. But it's much better when you do your curves or whatever in the sketch first. But yeah, we have, so if we want to make, in this area, we want to make, like this bit of a curve just so that we can put our magnets groove there. How do we do that? Like, to make this easier, you can use the tangent constraint to constrain this edge of the circle here, this edge of this circle here. Now it sounds like rubbish, but when you use the constraints, it will make sense to you. And so if you click the edge of the circle and the edge of the line you want to constrain to, it's going to, stay there as a tangent. It will not move outside of that. It's always just going to be on that line. But then you can also do that, take the tangent again and do it for the other side. And then it gives it like its own dimension, and it's not going to move because it always, you've said, no, do not go beyond that, line. Sorry, do not like remain a tangent to, this straight line here, and the same thing here. So it's just going to remain there. And yeah, because we're also going to be constraining everything, we want to give it a distance that it must be from the edge of this place. So you can just click from the middle of the circle to, if you highlight this curve, you see its midpoint, you can select it, and we can say, let's give it 20, 28, and we're good. And the next thing you do is, you extrude this thing. You should extrude it, flip the direction, it should go all the way down, right? And it will add to it. But a neat way to do this without you worrying about how far it should go to is you can select on your extrude, you have all these options. And so blind is, just do whatever, let it go as far as possible. Up to next means that it's going to extrude up until it touches the next part of it, and you see that it automatically just stops here. Or you could say up to face, and so if you want it to go as far as this face, you have that. Or if you want the face to be on the other side, it will go as far as that side, and you can see it come out here. But that's not neat, so up to next is the best option for us here. And there you have it, you have that groove, and then you can draw the circle and all. But then she has 3 of these. You're not going to start, drawing another, making another sketch, drawing another circle again. So this brings us to one of my favorite tools here. It's called the pattern tool. So here, no, not there, I lied, sorry, I can't find it. Let me relax. It's there. Okay, yes. So you have pattern tools. you have the linear pattern and the circular pattern. A linear pattern means that if you select it, you pick an object, it multiplies it in one, in a straight line, and you can set the distance that you want between those, objects. You can set the number that you want. Maybe you can make this 8, and we're going to have 8 circles. All of them are 50, from each other, so you don't have to keep drawing and drawing and drawing again. So that's a linear pattern. A circular pattern means it's going to, you know, make, well, do it in a circle, basically, and yeah, you can select how many you want. If you want it to be 6, you have 6 circles and whatnot. But here, because we have 5 different sides, we're going to make it 5 circles. And then we have that. You can also select the origin of that pattern. So this middle here is the center of that circular pattern. But here we want it, if it's off center from the actual center of what we're doing, it becomes very, 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 awkward, and it doesn't look nice. So it's best if it matches the center of our circle, and we're good. Does that make sense to anyone?
It got more complicated, but it does make sense. And I guess it will make more sense when I try it out.
Okay.
So for now, as you're explaining, it's like, okay. And as I'm watching, it's making sense until I try it. Before I know.
Okay. But yeah, I just let me know if like if I've completely lost you, but just let me know. Yeah. And so we have these circles, and the part that we really need is the space between this edge and this edge. If we're going to extrude, all these other things are useless. So we can just go back to the trim. Okay, wait. No, don't worry. Ignore me. I lied. Don't worry. But you have that. We have 3 different ones, which means that we can ignore the 2 circles that we actually kept here. We don't need to do anything with them, so we can just go here, select that, select, extrude, and select up to next. No, the other way. Yes. Okay, sorry. No, up to face. Select up to face and select the face inside, and yeah, there you have it. How are we feeling? We're kind of getting close to it. Yeah, another thing that she has is this part that is filled. Another thing, yeah, and what we'll do is we can go back to the same sketch that we had. Let me even see, can I delete these? Yes, I can. Yeah, we don't need those. Yeah, you can go here, and what you can do is just you can just take a straight line. A straight line across, draw a line from here to here. Yeah, you can constrain it to be horizontal so that it doesn't move in any other direction. Just make sure sorry, that is not right. Draw a line, make sure it touches the other one, constrain it to a horizontal line. Yes, and it's also blue, which means it's not fully constrained, and it just moves up. And we can say we want this to be we can set the distance to just constrain it. Let's make it like 5 mm from the bottom of the bag, and we're good. We do the same thing we did to the other one. Select the area there and extrude. Flip the direction and select up to face, and select the inside face as the face we actually want to select, and we have that. Does that, are we good? Are we?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, because everybody's quiet now. The house is so quiet. But okay. Let me. Yeah. Next, we're almost done anyways for today. For what we do next is we need to put those magnet grooves, right? And for those we need to check what are the dimensions. It says 5 mm. That means the radius, the diameter is 5 mm. The circle. So what that means is we need a 5 mm circle on one of these, and we're going to do the same thing we did when we're trying to get the grooves, because we have three parts, and obviously you're not going to be drawing three circles all the time. So you select the surface again that you have, press create a new sketch on top of it. I think one thing that can be very helpful to do is to draw a line and take it from the middle of this place, of this curve, to the middle of this one. Why you do that is so that when you're drawing your circle, it can show you, if you drag your, when you select the circle tool, when you drag around the line, this little box there lets you know that, yeah, that is a point and that is the midpoint on that circle, so that it just makes your work neater. Because if you drew your circle like this, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just doesn't have a home. Like, it could go anywhere, and so if you, it just helps you, and it's a way of constraining without having to go to the constraint, you know, menu. Sometimes it's smart. So we have that circle, and then we're going to give it a dimension. Now, because you are 3D printing and you're also making things for the real world, you have to give a little bit of allowance, and that allowance is called tolerance. So while it says that it's 5 mm, there's a chance that it might not exactly be 5 mm, or how, when you print it, how it will look when you print it, it might be slightly smaller. So you give an allowance of, like, maybe make it 5.3, give it extra, space to move. And from there you can go again to the circular pattern, select it, make sure that you change it to 5, and that way they will just appear at the exact same spot for all of the other ones, and you're good. So what do? Okay, I'm just going to change this to a construction line so it doesn't split my sketch. We select all the other three. We ignore the ones at the bottom because we don't need them, and we extrude to remove. Back in the dimensions, it says it's 2 millimeters deep, or yeah, that's the height, and we want to remove for 2 millimeters. But then again, real life, it might be less, so you give it like a tolerance, so we can give it 0.2 as well, and there we have it, the groove. Yeah, this is kind of it, but okay, no, I think there's one more thing. Sorry, there's the handle on the bag, right? So we have this bag, and the handle, well, however she did it, yeah, in, yes, it's here, right? So we're going to make our handle somewhere here, and if you pull your line here, you can already see Onshape is suggesting this place as the midpoint of this line, which is just very convenient for you. So what we're going to do here is, should we? I think yeah. I'm just gonna go back to this. I'm going to reuse the previous sketch. We don't always have to create a new sketch. So here it's already showing me it's a midpoint. So I'm going to select that, draw a circle around it, and yeah, I think maybe, what do you guys think? Radius of 15, 18, 15, 18, 18. I'll go with 18. Uh, and then we can then go to the offsets, make an internal one, just so that we have, a bit of space inside. When we have that internal offset, we're good. So we can go ahead and just select this bit, because Onshape has helped us to split it. So we can select this, press extrude, flip it the other direction. We can make it, I don't know, actually 7 millimeters. Let's make it about 7 millimeters. Onshape has recognized, no, maybe 6 millimeters, and yeah, we're good. But then again, you have the one on the other side. Are you going to, are you really going to start drawing another one on the other side? No. You can go back to that, and there's a nice little tool called the mirror tool in your sketch. If you can see, the star is split evenly across, like it's split evenly on two sides in the middle of, divided by this middle plane here. So when you select it, it's going to ask you to select the mirror line, and that's the line that you want as the divider between your, like, where you're going to mirror. Conveniently, the plane highlights itself as a mirror line, but sometimes your sketch might not, wherever you're doing it, might not have that. So one of the best things to do is you can draw a line, and since it's in the middle, I'm just going to draw the line up in the middle as a divider, between the two sides. Select my mirror line. I will select this line, and then it will ask you to select the entities you want to be mirrored, and I want this sketch and this sketch to be mirrored, and we have it on the other side, and that's it. And we can go to the extrude and just select the other one as well, and there we have it. Yeah, to make it look a bit nicer, we can add a little bit of a fillet on this side and the other, just to give it this neater look and make it look fitting, because every other thing has a bit of a curvature, so it would be nice for it to have that. I think we can give, no, that's too much. Nope. Yeah. I think that's kind of it, really. Okay, no, let's look inside this. Oh, hi, Nimi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanted to ask because I didn't see it in the sketch you did before, and it's also, well, I mean, well, I've not reached the end case, but that lower part, under that straight line, she puts like hinge-ish
Yeah,
type.
don't worry. Wait, that's why we'll continue. This live session is this thing, like, it's
Okay,
a career. We can't. It's not something we're going to do in
okay.
one uh in one go. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's why we're doing one half
that's why
first.
we're doing one half first.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
But
That makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I'll do it. I'll give you like a little teaser before we go on to the other one. But
Yeah,
I think she also has, like, this side was curved, so I forgot about all those anyway. Because fillet last. If I make this 12, let me see. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, she gave these their own, so you have that curve there. Also, inside this sides too, it's just sharp. We can give it a fillet as well. So we have that nice round look. Let me see if we increase it a bit more. Yeah, yeah, and there we have it. I know that seeing so many lines gets a bit, it makes it start to look a bit complex and intimidating, but it really is just what it is. But yeah, if you've done this, you've done one half of it. The other sides, I think we might even make it a three part. But you've done this whole thing. You spent 1 hour, doing this whole shape like this, and you still have one other side to do. Do you really have to start a sketch again and do all of that? The answer is no, once again. In the normal solids menu, you have something called a mirror. Even there, they have their own circular pattern. They have, it has a circular pattern, has its linear pattern. There's a whole lot of, that going on. Uh, there's a bunch of stuff to use, but it also has its mirror, which is very, very helpful when you're making things that have a bit of like symmetry, like this bag. The other side and this side are the same shape. So what you want to do is select a part to mirror. You can mirror things, features, faces, whatever, but for now what we're doing is parts. It'll tell you to select the entity you want to mirror, which is this bag, and what's the mirror plane, which means which of your planes are you selecting, so it will mirror on the other side. If you select this plane, it's going to mirror whatever is here to this side. If you select this plane, it's going to mirror whatever is here on this side. So if we select this as our mirror plane, we have the other. Now Onshape will jump because it's a Bebeto, and it will go and add it. You can decide to make it a new shape so that there are two different parts, as you can see, because if you put it on add, it will become one full part, but if you put it on new, it becomes two separate parts, and what you have is, a bag. I'm just gonna maybe change the color of one side, and I don't really like the blue that Onshape gives as default, but yeah, you have two sides that are exactly the same, and if you don't have to do it, but basically this is what your bag looks like on the inside, and you have that. But yeah, there's still more to do. You have the, you know I'm gonna hide that, but yeah, you have your bag. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this just to, I don't know, share in the group for people to see. And but this is as far as we'd go today. To next time, I see tomorrow. next time we will we will continue like the work on the other side. Those hinges at the bottom, that is more like you actually making things for real. When you're making real life things, the combination of you making real life things and you using CAD, and how you think through that whole, design process. So come in with your maker hat on, because you're about to do some real shit. How you guys feeling about that?
Let me first go and do this one.
Please do it, and actually send in, your work, like let people see it, and you can show that this bag is exactly what you're trying to, recreate at all. But like it's encouraging, not just for, like the community, but like for you as well, because it's insane. Like, okay, like 2 weeks ago I couldn't do this, but now I can. And there's also no problem in you not getting it right first time. This is me trying, me trying.
Wow.
Like, yeah, so there's nothing wrong in you like not getting it right first time. There's always help around, and yeah, so don't get discouraged. Like, you can get discouraged, but for like 5 minutes, then looking again. But yeah, um, wait, which one were we on? This one, yes. Uh, but yeah, that's it for this session. How are you guys? What do you guys think? I'm crying.
I'm less intimidated by the lion, so that's a good place to be.
Yeah. Look, you again. If again, small, baby steps. Like you can break like these steps down into different things. Like even starting from this sketch, if that's all you do in one day, that's fine. So pace yourself. Don't worry about, yeah. Just
Yeah,
basically pace
as
yourself.
soon as you upload the video.
No, I promise you, video is going up. I'm not even lying. I promise you. Oh God.
You know the fun thing about what you just did. You didn't say when. I
Oh,
mean,
I
the
no no.
video will be so you're not hearing about that one. I did that. It's the when that is the issue.
No.
Oh my god.
Then,
But yeah, no,
yeah, video will be
when is
up. Yeah. All right. I'm going to stop sharing now. But this is the end.